just arrived in Gdynia yesterday, but I will be spending a week with my family. Come with me to see what the city is really like. However, because it is a Sunday, most of the things are closed. We might just take a stroll. Let's find out. From all my times I've been here, I have heard that this is a city, and I've seen that this is a city of great history and culture and nature. Yeah, this place is very nice and there's a lot to do, so let's go. As it is probably visible, I did get a haircut about 10-20 minutes ago, and I had some breakfast while I'm here as well. A nice donut with some chocolate filling, and it didn't cost that much. It was only about £1.50 in British money, so about 7 zloty. I don't have very many plans as to what I'm gonna do here, but I suppose we'll let the event unfold. And yeah, right now we are heading to the lovely beach. I've been to this beach many times in the past before, and I'll tell you, it's very cinematic. There's a lot of great things to see. There's a viewing platform. I'm actually really close to it right now, and yeah, it's just a place full of amazing city life, especially at night, where you could see all the lights of the port and the boats that are coming in and out. And yeah, I'm on the sidewalk into the beach behind me, as you can see. Now, in front of me, I see I don't know what it's called in English, but it's like a concert venue and a theatre kind of like thing. Now, I've never been to any of these places, but I'm sure that, you know, it's a great place for tourists to spend their money and just hang out. Yeah, there's also a thingy going up. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called a monorail. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, already I'm like in the sea for only about 45 minutes and I'm already impressed. As you can see here, there's not really half hour facility. You know, it is the sea after all. But yeah, this is what's in store for us. I'm not going to go anywhere here today. Maybe like soon, I don't know. Now, from what I know, being here already in February, this is the city's 100th birthday this year. Therefore, it was founded in 1926. And yeah, there's a lot of events happening later this summer, later this year, and earlier. And yeah, I'm not sure if there's any happening now, but I can see in front of me there is definitely something. I think we're going to check that out. Yeah, I'm not sure what this is, but as we can see in front of us, there's definitely something happening. I'm not sure if this has anything to do with, you know, just it being here, or I don't know, but like, there's definitely some huge ass event. Alright, we made it. There's a lot of games here. I don't know if I'm going to take part in any. I mean, I do speak the language, but you know, I don't feel like I want to actively participate in anything just yet. You know, maybe I'll come back later, maybe I won't. You know, overall I'm getting good vibes, good impressions. I think they are advertising things that are happening later this week, I think. And yeah, on other notes, I am at the beach. Now, this beach it's amazing, so I'm going to be completely honest. This city has more than one beach, but this is the main municipal beach. And yeah, bike culture is a huge part to play in this city. As we can see, there's bikes pretty much everywhere. There's some music being played. The vibes here are actually crazy good. Some volleyball being played. Volleyball is also a huge part of the city's culture. And yeah, we're gonna just walk around walk around, see what the sea is like, see what it has in store for people like me. Seeing this only May, and you know, it's not summer yet. For May, the weather is actually pretty warm, and there's a few beachgoers, many beachgoers. In all fairness, it is a Sunday and all the stores are closed, so there's nothing very much to do other than go to the beach. So yeah, I guess we'll see the views now. The sand is pretty tricky to walk through, but I suppose I can do it. The sand isn't like British beach sand, because British beach sand isn't really sand, it's just rocks, and you can just walk on that normally. Here we actually have like nice and fluffy sand, but other than that, yes, a very, very good city. First impressions. I'm glad I'm going to be spending a week here with my family. And yeah, I only flew in yesterday, mind you. Pretty amazing. Maybe going to the beach wasn't a good idea, seeing as I've got sand in my shoes. But that's no big deal. I'll just get that out a bit later. But yeah, beach. It's like a beach, just a sandy beach. Overall, you know, it's not a bad beach. It's a pretty amazing beach, as I've probably said many times already. But, you know, when it gets hotter than 21 degrees, this place is absolutely packed. Like, you cannot get a place that's more packed than the beach over here when it is above 21 degrees. You know, seeing it's just like my first ever vlog ever, you know, it feels a tad bit awkward, but I'm sure that feeling is going to fade eventually, right? If you're more experienced in beach, you know, let me know so that I can do anything better, because you know, I'm trying to do this to the viewers. Hopefully I'll get a few subscribers out of this. Speaking of, if you enjoy this video so far, leave a like, subscribe, comment and share to your friends, to your family, to everyone you know, because yeah, we are in store for an amazing week. More than likely the next city over, which you can briefly see over there. We can see Gdańsk, and yeah, Gdańsk and Gdynia are the cities are very near to each other. And I'll give you a fact, their football teams despise each other. But, you know, speaking of football, both Gdynia and Lechia Gdańsk got relegated. So we're going to take the derby to the second division of Polish football now. You know, not something that many people will be interested in, but it's good to tell, you know, just to inform the people, inform you guys. Yeah. Now from what we can see behind me, I'm about to enter this place. I don't know what exactly it's called in English, but I know that in Polish it's called the Boulevard Nadmorski. And yeah, there's a bunch of vibes happening. It's a great view of the sea. After a certain point, you know, of course, there's going to be no beach, but there is like an even smaller beach and a very, very tiny pier that accompanies it. And yeah, I think we're gonna head there now. But overall, you know, the beach, lovely place. If you ever come to Poland, I would recommend this city over here, and I would recommend coming to this beach when it is a nice and hot summer's day. As we can see, the point we're walking towards, you know, the place is quite very wide, so you can occasionally see vehicles fitting over here, occasionally see bikes. There's a dedicated bike lane just to the right. Yeah, the only downside I will say is that it might seem hot, but there's a little breeze coming from the sea, and that's actually maybe quite cold. But I've been in cold environments before, so I'm sure that'll live. being as I spent a lot of time here when I was a child, I basically grew up in the city. Yes, it means a lot to me, and to see it being modernized, you know, I'm not for or against it, you know. I just want to keep the city as is, you know. Now that I'm walking here, I can see that it's very quiet, and that is another positive. In less popular places like this, it's still popular, of course, but it's not as popular as the beach. And in less popular places, you can tell that it is way quieter than if you was to go to the beach and hang around over there. Yeah, the view is nice. You can see out very far into the sea, the Baltic Sea. There's a huge amount of boats, and I don't know if you can see it, but what seems to be a boating school. And I have now stumbled upon what seems to be an event waiting to happen. Well, you can see here, I don't know what this is. It's a little store, but I would recommend it if you want a quick drink. I've been here like once, it's pretty decent. What is this? See, I was originally meant to go to that small little beach and just hang around there for a bit, but now I'm wondering what this whole ordeal is. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to check it out. Also, one thing that I haven't mentioned that I should probably mention is that there is a military base based in the city, and occasionally you can see a few planes flying in. This seems to be like a sport festival. There's a lot of sports going on here, a lot of basketball. Yeah, we're going to check that out very shortly. But damn, the city is bustling with life, especially today for a Sunday. Whew, that's mad. I think this might be the reason why there are so many people in the city today, despite being a Sunday. It's actually quite crazy. One thing I absolutely hate is that there's copyright music. I probably can't put this segment in my video, but you know, I'm just gonna blur it out of my voice as well as I can. Yeah, just let me just end this segment before my video gets taken down. And judging from what's happening here in 2026, I would assume that this is for the 100th birthday of this city, and that is some basketball rally thing. Not rally, I don't know what it's called, but it's a basketball event. Basketball is also pretty big in the city, but not as big as football is. You know, if you was to walk on a match day, you would see basically every single person with a football shirt on. And yeah, that's just the city's nature, really. Now, on other notes, we are arriving to that small ass pier where we could probably get a view of, you know, further out into the city. You know, oh, there's a helicopter. It's not unusual here. There's air traffic here every single day. I mean, there's no reason to be surprised. But I'm not sure if you can see it on camera. Wait, nah, I don't. But there is a helicopter. That's to rewatch this clip. Yeah. There's a guy on a jet ski. Jet ski is a huge part of the city's culture as well. To be fair, this is a city next to the sea. City by the sea, huh? You gotta love it. There's a few fishermen. I'm not sure what they have caught, what they will catch, but from what I see, I don't know if they might catch anything. I've never seen any fish in this hard water. Mind you, I've been to that beach probably thousands of times. 1 second, the chopper's coming back. Don't know if it's a different chopper, it's the same chopper, but there's a chopper. Don't know if you can see that. Just casting. Not sure if anyone's catching anything, but yeah, we're here now. There's a bunch of fishermen. This is very cool. After just looking at what people are catching, from what I can see, they're mainly catching just a bunch of sea plants. I don't know what they're called, but you know, they're not the best to come across when you're trying to fish. You can see, oh, that's a nice cast. But yeah, as we can see here, there is a whole bunch of stickers about the football club and dissing Lechia Gdańsk. You know, as they should be. I would say it. Gdynia is better than Lechia Gdańsk. Now yeah, just a small little beach over here. You know, it's just a beach. There's nothing really much to it. But now I think we're gonna check out that basketball event, because I'm kind of interested to see what's going on up there. One thing I can also see is that outdoor gyms are a big part of the city, and I think Poland in general. You know, fitness, gotta keep up with it, you can't slack. So in Poland, yes of course I've been eating much junk food, but I've got to keep up with my fitness. I bought my resistance band for a reason, yeah. You can't just, if you're not healthy, then, you know, I'm not judging anyone here, just eat what you want to eat, be how you want to be. But I prefer to be slightly on the fitter side, or at least I tried to be. Yesterday, you know, that was just a one-off thing. The distance over there, you can see the huge building, and yeah, that it's actually really good in frame right now. It's, you know, in the middle. But anyways, yeah, sea towers. If you live in Gdynia, it's a place worth visiting. You know, just to see the sheer vastness of it, just to see, you know, how beautiful it actually is. And one thing I'm really interested about here is what is in the stalls up there, because there's, from what I can see, there's like a huge crowd just celebrating something. I'm not sure what. Yeah, so you've got to see that. I think we're gonna go this way. The breeze is picking up. I might know if it's a bit windy, but you know, we're just here to see what's going on. There's a bunch of people working out. Yeah, this is sport at its finest. If you want to play sports, if you want to visit a city that is very big on sports, visit Gdynia. This is new. I have no idea what this is about. But we're at the sports venue now. Yeah, from what we can see, there's a huge basketball, and below it says Gdynia. Now, I'm not entirely sure what this is for. Probably for his basketball association, his basketball events, whatever. I don't know what they're called. But yeah, from what I can see, there is just a whole bunch of basketball being played. Now don't get me wrong, basketball is an amazing sport, but I'm not the best at basketball. I'm better at football, and yeah, it's a very interesting play. If I could afford a shirt, I'd buy it, but I don't think I've got the money. You know, speaking of, I might buy a new football shirt because my old one is just broken. There's nothing much on sale right now. I'm not even sure what these tools are for. I really don't want to get copyrighted. You know, I came here, yeah, it's just a bunch of basketball. There's no schools or anything, it's just a bunch of basketball being played. And yeah, basketball, it's just basketball, what can I say? There is a bunch of lemonade being sold. I don't know if they're giving it out for free, but I don't need a drink. Now what I'm heading to do now is I'm heading to take the bus to the other part of the city because I want to see if there's anything going on there. Because as I was passing there earlier, I saw that there was kind of an event there, but I'm not sure exactly what kind of event. You know, one thing that, you know, I don't mind about the city is that you always have to take the traffic. It's never going to let you pass like an open road with no cars in it, and then you can cross. But otherwise, if you cross on a red light, it's kind of illegal and you can get fined quite a bit of money. Now, depending on when the bus is going to come, I may or may not take it, you know. If it's in upwards of 20 minutes, then I'm probably just going to walk and vlog. But if it's in like 5 minutes, you know, it's worth waiting. I really want to show you these city buses because I feel like they're really interesting. In the fact that, you know, they're very accessible and they're fast. They are very fast. One thing that I don't know how to demonstrate also on buses is, you know, that the voice inside saying where the next stop is going to be is very clear, and the buses are very clean. There's like nothing to worry about in terms of cleanliness and noise. One thing I don't like very much is that the wind really messes my hair up. I look like a jackass sometimes, but you know, that's not big of a deal. You know, I suppose I'll live. One thing that I have yet to mention is that on Sunday, like a lot of people, lots of people go to the church. Now I might go to the church later, I'm not sure of that yet. But that's only when I come back to my neighborhood. Which, if you want to see, you know, just let me know in the comments. Yeah. I'm not sure when the next bus is coming. I need to check. But yeah. On second thought, the bus is in half an hour. I'm just gonna skip out on that. Yeah, I'm not really up for waiting half an hour for the bus. There's just one more thing that I have to mention. Trolley buses are a very, very good form of transport in the city. And yeah, I mean, it's not very surprising that they're still here. I mean, it is a very old city. 1926 it was founded, and you know, trolley buses are a very old form of transport, but now they're all modernized, they're all nice, and they still run pretty often. So now I'm just, you know, might as well just take one. Here's an example. You know, pretty nice. I'm going to be getting on this one. Now, as you probably figured, I'm back where I started. But that's because I am going to a completely different place to where I was just at. So I'd take the side road or the main road. I'll take the main road. I think it's better. Yeah, let's go. One thing that I think that's really enjoyable about Poland is that there's these frog shops, and they're basically everywhere, and they are open 24/7, 365, and not 24 hours, but they might as well be 24 hours because they are open on Sundays as well. And I feel like that is a huge part of why this country is surviving. Just walking down the street here, you know, this is a very popular place, even for non-tourists. Not like I'm a tourist, I grew up here, but yeah, there's a, I think it's a war memorial, I'm not sure what it really is, but yeah, it seems like a war memorial. Yeah, we're gonna see that now. Yeah, this sea is amazing. At first, I was unsure of why they put this here, but now I can see the true importance and meaning of it now that I'm older than I used to be, like Christmas 4 years ago. This country was a huge part in the Second World War. You know, basically got completely destroyed, but they rebuilt it better than ever. You know, I love the place. Yeah, just amazing. Read it if you can. If not, comments, translate. Beautiful. So now, as we can see in front of us, we are going to the main attraction bit. There's a lot of people, there's a nice fountain. You know, one thing that kind of really upsets me is that around that area there used to be a whole bunch of stores. Now they destroyed it, and I think they're planning to build a few apartments, I think. But yeah, it's not the greatest look. Then again, I don't really mind. Yeah. On separate notes, Sea Towers is right up there. Huge buildings, really. There's apartments, hotels, basically everything there. There's a bunch of souvenir shops that are open as well, open for business. Souvenir shops are usually open every other week, especially in the summer, where there is a whole bunch of tourists coming to the city. And yeah, one thing I also like about Poland is that it's very heavily monitored. You won't get away with the crime, you won't. It's an amazing city. You know, usually when there's like a holiday, there's a bunch of stools behind this fountain, but it's just a regular Sunday, so I don't think there is any, but we'll take a look anyways. Yeah, as we can see from this angle, there's no shops, no stools behind the fountain, so that is why we are going to visit the second best attraction. That's going to be the really old boats that they used back in the 19 that I don't know what it's called, but a very long time ago. Now the boat we can see in front of us, it was used during the Second World War, and I think it was a destroyer, but don't quote me on that. And yeah, I can't find any new crossings, so I suppose I just crossed here. Yeah, it's very impressive how it survived over 70 years. Maybe even closer to 80. Yeah, it's actually crazy historical, this city. This boat was based here during the Second World War and was built by the Polish. However, I think it was taken over by the Germans, but don't quote me on that. I don't know much about the history here. So yeah, that's that. Now, as we can see here, we have another very historical boat, a very historical vessel, the Darpa Morza. And I'm actually not really sure what this is used for, but you know, it was used a long time ago, especially museums that, but I'm not gonna go in. And there's a whole bunch of stores that are open right now, but you know, typically they're a bit overpriced, but maybe might buy something for my friends, you know, depending on what I can see to get for a relatively decent price. I'm not trying to get absolutely ripped off. Yeah. Now, from what we saw, you know, this city, great city, bunch of stuff to do, massive life. It's an amazing city. And yeah, I've got just one more place to show you before I'm done with this vlog, and I'm gonna cut to it soon. As we can see behind me, there's a tourist attraction kind of thing that says Gdynia on it. You know, I've got a photo in front of there. It's only like one. Yeah, so what I really wanted to show you is this place in general. This place is very beautiful, however it's very good by, I think there's a tour guide over here. Yeah, it's this huge statue. I'm not sure what it's for actually, but I'm sure it holds some history. And there's also a memorial over there. Not sure what that's for, so I've got to check that out. I haven't been here in a while. The last time I've been here was in February and it was cold. -10 degrees, I believe. And seeing that this vlog is coming to an end, you know, I thought I might as well just end it in a beautiful place. That guy's memorial. Yeah, there's a few more fishermen, and now we can see the ultimate overview of where we was today. We're probably gonna be very soon. That's it for today. Safe.